The number one reason first-time boondockers quit after a single trip has nothing to do with their RV. It has nothing to do with the weather, the bugs, or the loneliness. It is a mistake they make before they even leave the driveway. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what it is and how to make sure it never happens to you. But first, a question. If somebody handed you the keys to a brand new RV right now and said go live off-grid for a week, would you actually know what to do? Where to park legally? How to keep the fridge cold without plugging in? What happens when the water runs out? Most people do not. And that is exactly why this video exists. This is everything you need to know before your first boondocking trip. No filler, no fluff. Just the stuff that actually matters when you are sitting in the dark 20 miles from the nearest campground wondering what went wrong. Let's start with the basics. Boondocking means camping without hookups. No water connection, no electricity, no sewer line. You park your RV on public land, usually Bureau of Land Management land, National Forest land, or sometimes even a Walmart parking lot, and you live entirely on what you brought with you. Some people call it dry camping. Some call it dispersed camping. Others call it free camping. It is all the same thing. You are completely on your own. And here is the part people underestimate. Being on your own means every resource is finite. The water in your tank, the power in your battery, the propane in your bottles, the space in your black tank. When any one of those runs out, the trip is over. The whole game of boondocking is managing those four things so you can stay out longer than you think you can. So where do you actually go? This is the first real question every beginner asks, and the answer is simpler than most people make it. Start with two free apps, iOverlander and Campendium. Both of them show you thousands of free dispersed camping spots across the United States, reviewed by real people who have actually stayed there. Filter by RV friendly, check the recent reviews, and you will have a list of spots within a day's drive of wherever you are right now. For Bureau of Land Management land, go to the BLM website and look at their surface management maps. Anything shaded yellow is public land where dispersed camping is generally allowed. Arizona, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, and Eastern Oregon are loaded with it. You can camp for free for up to 14 days in one spot. Then you need to move at least 25 miles. National forests work the same way. Most national forest land allows dispersed camping unless there is a sign that specifically says otherwise. Look for dirt roads off the main highways. If there is a fire ring and flat ground, somebody has camped there before. That is usually your best indicator. One critical rule: do not just pull off any road and assume you can camp. Check if the land is actually public. Private land, tribal land, and military land all look the same from a dirt road. Use the Free Roam app or the Avenza Maps app with the BLM overlay to confirm you are on legal ground before you set up. Getting towed out of a spot 20 miles from town is an expensive lesson nobody needs to learn the hard way. Now let's talk about the four resources, starting with the one that ends most beginner trips early: water. The average RV freshwater tank holds somewhere between 30 and 60 gallons. That sounds like a lot until you realize a single 5-minute shower uses about 4 gallons. Doing dishes for 2 people uses another 2. Flushing the toilet a few times, brushing teeth, filling a coffee pot. A couple can easily burn through 5 to 8 gallons a day without even trying. At that rate, a 40-gallon tank lasts 5 days. Maybe 6 if you are careful. For most beginners, that is shorter than they planned. The fix is not complicated. Use a spray bottle for rinsing dishes. Take Navy showers, water on, get wet, water off, soap up, water on, rinse, water off. That turns a 4-gallon shower into a 1-gallon shower. Use paper plates when you can. Carry a couple of extra 7-gallon jugs you can fill at a town water spigot on your way out. Those 2 jugs buy you an extra 3 to 4 days, which is often the difference between a trip that feels rushed and one that feels like freedom. If you are boondocking in the Southwest, learn where the water fill stations are. Most small desert towns have one, sometimes at a gas station, sometimes at a dedicated RV water point. iOverlander marks them. Fill up every time you pass one, even if your tank is half full. In the desert, water is the clock that tells you when the trip is over. The second resource is power, and this is where most beginners either overspend or underprepare. Your RV has 2 electrical systems. The house batteries run the lights, the water pump, the fridge control board, and your USB outlets. The chassis battery starts the engine. When people say their RV died while boondocking, they almost always mean the house batteries ran out, not the engine battery. For a first trip, you do not need a massive solar setup. What you need is awareness. Know that your house batteries are limited. Know that running the furnace fan all night will drain them faster than almost anything else. Know that a 12-volt compressor fridge uses far less power than an absorption fridge on battery mode. A basic portable solar panel, even a 100-watt suitcase panel for a couple $100s, can extend a weekend trip into a full week. It will not run your air conditioner. It will not power a microwave, but it will keep the fridge running, the lights on, and your phone charged, which is all most beginners actually need on their first few trips. And if you want the deep dive on exactly how much solar you need for full-time boondocking, I already made that video. It is linked in the description. But for your first trip, keep it simple. A portable panel, a full set of house batteries, and the discipline to turn off lights you are not using will get you through a week without drama. Resource number 3 is the one nobody wants to discuss but everybody has to deal with: your tanks. Your RV has a gray tank for sink and shower water and a black tank for the toilet. Together, they are the second most common reason beginners cut trips short. Not because the tanks fill up, but because people panic about the tanks filling up. Here is the reality. A 40-gallon black tank for 2 people lasts about 5 to 7 days of normal use. The gray tank fills faster because it catches all your sink and shower water. If you are conserving water the way I described earlier, both tanks will last about the same amount of time. Use a quality tank treatment, not the cheap blue stuff. Use a drop-in enzyme treatment, and keep the black tank valve closed until it is at least 2/3 full. That is important. If you leave the valve open, liquids drain out and solids stay behind and dry into a concrete-like layer that is genuinely miserable to clean. Keep it closed. Let it fill. Then dump it all at once at a dump station on your way home or on your way to the next spot. Dump stations are everywhere. Gas stations, campgrounds, RV dealers, even some rest stops have them. Many are free or cost $5. Campendium and Sanadumps.com both map them. Find one near your planned route before you leave and the whole tank anxiety disappears. Which brings us back to the mistake I mentioned at the beginning. The number one reason first-time boondockers quit after one trip. They do not do a test run. They buy the gear, watch the videos, pick an incredible spot 3 hours from civilization, drive out there on a Friday night and discover every problem at the worst possible time. The water pump they never tested makes a noise, but nothing comes out. The battery they assumed was charged is at 40%. The leveling blocks are still in the Amazon box, unopened. The dump station they plan to use on the way home is closed on Sundays. The fix costs nothing. Spend one night in your own driveway. Seriously, turn off the shore power, close the water hookup. Disconnect from everything. Live on your tanks and your batteries for one night as if you were 50 miles from town. Cook a meal, take a shower, run the heater, flush the toilet, charge your phone. Try to watch a movie on your laptop and see how fast the battery drops. Every problem you would have discovered on a remote dirt road in Arizona, you discover instead 10 feet from your front door. You fix it on Saturday morning with the trip to the hardware store, not with a roadside assistance call and a 3-hour tow. This one step eliminates about 80% of first trip failures. It is boring. It is not Instagram worthy. And it is the single best piece of boondocking advice anyone will ever give you. That is literally everything you need. Water, power, waste, a legal spot to park, and one honest test night in your driveway before you head out for real. Boondocking is not complicated. It is just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar things feel harder than they are until you do them once. After that first real trip, the one where you wake up in total silence, make coffee with your own water, step outside and realize there is not another person for miles, you will understand why people do this for years and never go back to RV parks. That feeling is what all the preparation is for. If this was useful, hit subscribe. More tested, practical boondocking content is coming every single week. I will see you on the next one.